Hi friends, so we're here to do another pick a card, but today comes with a different vibe for sure. When I was meditating to go ahead and do this pick a card series, well, chapter, whatever you want to call it, I saw a bull engaged in battle, and it was like a great, almost like being in the arena where there's a matador and they have the bullfights basically. And the bull was angry and raring to go and provoked. And the next thing I saw was a huge elephant, and I was looking at the texture of the skin and thinking about how elephants are known to remember. And I'm being brought to the fact that your ancestors want you to recall and remember exactly who you are, to wake up and see where you came from, and to really prepare for battle. This might be the greatest battle of all. And so with that, I'm getting a ton of energy in my crown chakra. I want you to know that I come from a place of peace and of love, but also speaking the unconventional, speaking that which many people wish that I would just shut up about. And they wish for things to remain unspoken, whether it be a desire to be in denial, or whether it's a desire to not think about things, a desire to stick their heads in the sand. I guess all of those amount to denial anyways. But I'm being told that that is not the time or the action that we need to be engaged in. I've got to air out this sage a little bit. So it's definitely time for us. I think different things are coming to a head, basically, which is the reason for my reading. Now, we are going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do something also slightly different that I've never done before, actually, in this format. And that is going to be drumming. I want to bring our ancestors to the forefront to be able to get the messages that we need to get in order for us to have the greatest clarity and the best quality messages. So I hope that with this drum, keep in mind I'm no drummist, no musician. I could barely walk and chew gum. But with this message, it doesn't matter. It's all about getting grounded and getting in tune with what Spirit has to say to you. So if you would care to join me, that is great. If not, timestamps are below for you to follow. Thank you so much. So next we're going to go ahead and do our selection from our newest deck, which is an ancestral deck. I don't quite recall. It's the Relative Tarot. Okay. So selection portion for this reading. It's a Q&A. What is your ancestor? What do your ancestors want you to know at this critical time in life? Whether that's a personal thing, a global thing, it doesn't matter. It's critical to you at this point in time. What do your ancestors want you to know, please? For pile number 1, show me now. What do your ancestors want you to know at this point in time? Thank you. And last but not least, for pile number 3, what your ancestors want you to know at this time, show me now. Okay. So I'm actually going to flip them around so you can choose them by sight. Oh, Justice. Juicy. Juicy, juicy. Pile number 2. 7 of Wands. These are so incredibly beautiful. And pile 3. The Ace of Pentacles. So I want you to take a look at these and make your choice. And I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number one. If you chose this pile, this message is for you. So first of all, I want to thank you, repeat offenders, for even showing up, checking in, tuning in. And for you newbies, just for stopping by out of curiosity, thank you so much. Now, one thing that I want to mention before I get started is I feel like there's been a collective fear blanketing the earth. And I know this sounds really global and kind of tree-huggy and woo-woo. But regardless, if you've been feeling a lot of fear in your life, a lot of restriction, my throat chakra just kind of like went wonky right now, as you guys heard. I feel like there's a connection between that level of fear and the inability or the lack of desire to speak, okay? Speaking your truth, even airing out your fears, whatever that may look like. Now, this incredible card, the Justice, I want you to get a load of this, as they say. How beautiful is she? This has everything to do with justice. And this is a powerful position to be in. I got a ton of energy in my right hand. I feel like she's looking at the past. And I feel like this Justice's soul is crying out for justice, equality, a rebalancing of the scales from things done in the past. This could be to you on a personal level, on a global level, ancestral level. And I feel like what this is saying is your ancestors like, you know what, it's okay, be calm. Be at peace and be at rest and be at ease, because we are supporting you. When you're exhausted and you can no longer, we are the wings underneath your wings, allowing you to have a reprieve and a little bit of shelter and a little bit of calm so that you can once again do what you need to do. You may be really fond of or have some pieces of old jewelry from your ancestors, your grandparents, your parents, great-great-grandparents. Perhaps you stumbled upon a piece that really drew your attention at a thrift shop, or someone just gifted it to you. Regardless, I feel like there's an air of regality about you. Your bloodline stands strong, and it screams out for justice and peace and equality and to right the wrongs. Also, I feel like she's saying is that I see you. I see the injustices that have been done to you, and it is not okay. I see the hardship and I see the pain that you've caused my people. The suffering, the enslavement, I see. And I will not forget. And yes, I'm angry. And the time has come to pay your dues. Everything that's been done in the night will come out into the light. And there must be justice done. And I feel like your soul, your very soul, is crying out for this form of justice, whether this has anything to do with gender assignments or, you know, gender fluidity, or belonging to a family who rejected you, or lovers who rejected you. I feel like for most of people in this pile number one, it is a social justice, okay? There's great change afoot. With the number 5, many fluctuations. Do not be carried away by what you see, what you hear, and especially what you are told. When you are told and sold on a lie, told and sold on what and how to think, told and sold on what and how to do things, told and sold on where to go and where not to go and when to do those things. You are a celestial being, a part of the interwoven connectedness of heaven, okay? And your ancestors are saying no more. So I feel like there's a restoration that has everything to do with why you're at this reading right now. I do feel like you are crowned in glory. You may have had 3 major things. I almost feel like these are the almost like a aorta chambers for the heart or something like that. But I do feel like I would not be surprised if we kind of zoomed out and this part had like a heart that was part of the crown. So I feel like whatever it is broken open, and blood has spilled and blood has been shed. And I don't mean to sound gruesome or dramatic, but I definitely feel like the time has come for ramification, people to pay their dues and pay exactly what it is that they've done under the name of justice, perhaps, under the name of fairness, perhaps, under the name of I have a title. And this is what I'm telling you to do. I have man given authority, perhaps, okay? And I feel like the universe is stepping in and saying no more. We've seen this repetition, nothing new under the sun, okay? You guys know that there's nothing new under the sun. And when your soul's crying out for something, for justice, for change, for a peace that can only be rectified through the balancing of the scales, through looking at the past and speaking about things the way that you exactly see them, not the way other people see them, then that is a form of justice. And I feel like you are divinely protected. I feel like you are sitting definitely on concrete. Like this is a place of knowledge and of wisdom, and you have collected and gleaned everything that you need to collect and glean for in order to hold this post, which is a cry for justice. You are worthy and you are somebody, okay? And your ancestors say that just because you don't hold a title, you don't hold a PhD or the acronyms or the masters behind your name or any other letters that man may have given you, you hold a crown of glory that heaven and God has bestowed upon you. Let's take a look. Why is the justice here, please? Why is the justice here for my pile number 1? For we the people who see the injustice, who have felt and heard the cries. Why is justice here for pile number 1? Show me now. It's the Queen of Wands. It's action. It's burning everything that has been done in the past, perhaps, and that fire has burnt with it and it's coming forth. And even it's helping other people understand that we've been here before. Don't fall for this illusion. I heard the word pragmatic, okay? Don't fall for these ideas, these notions, and the propaganda that you have been fed. Do not get burned by what has been done in the past and how they want the narrative to go. Indeed, feel in your gut, in your spirit. Because if anything that we know, just based on common sense, a product sells itself. And if you have to be sold on something with bribes, with lies, with commercials, with movie stars, or anything else, chances are that's going to burn you. So think twice about it, okay? But there is a justification coming for these people who have been injured and hurt and even had their lives taken away. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1. Thank you. The wheel, things are going to get better. They are going to get better. But right now, what you are seeing is a lot of change. A lot of change, my friends. Change needs to happen. And it's sudden, and it's radical, and it's unpredictable. And it's breath-stopping change that continues to happen, perhaps. And yet you can be resting assured that our ancestors know and see everything that's going on, that things are being brought out into the light. People that are profiting also from the fear of other people, from the enslavement of other people, of... it's overwhelming, okay? For the people in general, okay? I feel like that will come out. I feel like even this goes back to a lot of even hidden ceremonies that we're not privy to, that perhaps we've heard rumors about, or we've heard other people talking about, and yet we thought, you're crazy, that can't be possible, that doesn't happen anymore. Human sacrifices doesn't happen anymore. Well, really, your ancestor says, does it not? When they feed you food that is designed to cause malfunctions or cancers or other diseases, and they willfully and knowingly peddle that stuff is helpful for you to eat, consume, and give to your family, is that not a plan to harm, maim, hurt, and even kill other people? And I know this is dramatic, but have you turned on your television set and looked at the news where, well, I'm sorry, about commercials where it talks about, yeah, you can join this lawsuit, this J&J, which I won't be mentioning by name, this talcum powder has been known to cause cancer, and they knew it before they released it. And yet all they can offer is a miserable settlement for people whose lives have been incredibly changed. What about justice? All right, money doesn't make a difference if you're not around. It doesn't make a difference. Now, with the 3 ones right here that I see with justice, I also see the Empress. This is growth. But right here we have the wheel, and that's a wheel of fortune. Everything that goes up must come down. These people have really been standing on people's shoulders far too long, been stepping on them far too long, been doing their undercover things in the middle of the night, their rituals, far too long. And it is high time that they fall and that they get exposed for really what they are, okay? Look, 8 of Swords. Some of you guys feel you're in your head. You don't know what to do about this. Monumental changes. Overwhelming things happening globally, okay? Did you know that Singapore has been on lockdown and they're not allowed to leave their homes? Most of you probably maybe do. But have you gone on there on other forums and looked and heard that they're actually screaming from their apartment windows that they're starving and suffering? And yet here we sit. It's like we do all this studying and we don't know what to do, how to do. It's overwhelming, and yet we do nothing then. Okay? And this is not a slam on any one of us. This is just your ancestors pointing out, I know that you feel helpless. I know you feel hopeless. I know you feel like you got to overthink things. And you don't know exactly what to do as one person. But we're not a part of just one person. We are collective. We are the sun. It is time for the sun to shine, for us to take back our power. Trust in the process. Trust in your voice. I heard from a higher, from God say, trust in me. Okay? So I feel like there are good times. There is celebration. There is a spirit of winning. Okay? If there ever is a spirit of winning in this. And I feel like these are some dark times that we're all facing. But I want you to know that getting outside a little bit, getting grounded, getting a reset will help clear up this mental clutter, which I too, by the way, suffer from. Okay? How can you help? Spirit, show me. For pile number 1, how can they help? And show me now. Strength. Oh, my loves, you are stronger than you even know. You are divinely protected, incredibly loved. All the trials and tribulations, all the things that you've had to endure in silence, whether it's relationship, whether it's familial, whether it's on a national level, on a social level, on economic scale, it doesn't make a difference. You've endured so much. You've learned how to curb that inner beast. And this is a lot of cloud money thinking, kind of like, how do I move forward? And your talent is your inner strength. That pretty soon you're going to be able to roar. That is your God-given, okay? Your God-given right. As we knock the whole set down, people. And I know that some people will view this and think that I'm absolutely crazy. That's okay. Just think about what's going on in your life right now. And if you think it's unrelated, think again. Look, I feel like this is like the family crescent. And this is your symbol. You could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, a fire sign, anything like that. But you're divinely protected. I feel like you have wisdom and you see deeper than other people. And the reason why you have this resiliency is not only you have endured suffering, but so have your ancestors. So have your parents, their grandparents. And trauma is passed down genetically. That has been scientifically proven right now. But right now, you've come to a point where you're divinely supported. And maybe you've come to the best time of all to be on this earth, in spite of what we see with our eyes. What other talents do we have here? And how can we help, please? For pile number 1, show me now. Look, the Tower. It's bringing it all down. You are strong enough to bring down this system that is oppressive, that is upside down, that you work and then they tax you to work, and they tax everything you purchase and everything you eat, and all the health insurances that you have to have, that gets taxed too. Everything gets taxed, and you get taxed on top of your tax if you don't pay them. I mean, it's never ending, okay? And it's a time right now to allow these people that have been nice and cozy to bring that down, that tower down, to reveal exactly what and who is inside of this tower that's been untouchable for so long, has left most of us on icy ground, unable to really function or even get ahead in life. That have been really, this talks to me about a system that is medicine and educational, that goes back, way back when. And I don't want to mention their name per se, but it talks about how they bought medicine and they started turning homeopathic things that our ancestors used to do for cures into quackery, when initially what they peddled was quackery. And they turned that illusion into a big fact through media. So they bought out all of the schools and everything else. Whether or not directly, they bought them out through funding, okay? And you can look this all up on the internet, on different search engines, not the one that's the most popular right now, please. And so all of the things have been bought out, and a slant has been placed on there to say, hey, this is all quackery. Don't allow your wound to be treated by this home remedy. You have to purchase this because that's how we make our money, and so on and so forth. So I feel like there's a lot here that is going to be uncovering things, okay? And even when you think about the child rings, okay, we're not going to go into the specified because I don't want to get banned. I want to get the message out. But there is a justice we see of this has been happening forever throughout many, many cultures. It's not just ours, okay? You can go and study throughout history. You've seen cycles of things some resembling this type of torture and this type of behavior and this type of lack of care for life and children, and so on and so forth. I can go on. But your ancestors are saying you are she who knows. Even if you are he, it doesn't make a difference. This is not gender specific. All will be revealed, and you will have your hand in being able to speak your truth. But look at this. The Eight of Swords comes again, okay? Eight of Swords again tells us, but I don't know. How do I do that? How do I do that and get out of this? Get out of this mess. I feel trapped. I get paid by the same forces that that tower needs to bring down. That is my sustenance, or whatever you are thinking. All of our thoughts are hindering us, okay? We need to meditate to get closer to source, to get our own downloads, to achieve peace, and get grounded. That is the very beginning. And with that very beginning, I'm told that is also the end. Look, you got the Strength card again. You can't make this up. Pile number one, I hope that you're understanding these messages. I know that I'm speaking a little bit in code. But I feel like this is going to allow you, regardless, you have that strength, that stamina, that vitality to be able to run the course, run the race, finish, and win. You don't have to be first, okay? You just have to last the course. And with that, I'm being told, definitely take your precautions. You want to make sure that you are... that you are definitely, doing your best to deal with food shortages, with things that you can defend yourself with water, which you can only sustain yourself so long without. I mean, look for alternative ways in case those water sources were not available. So you're going to have to fit this narrative however this reading hits you. What else do we need to know? For pile one. Show me now. Look. The Knave of Wands. And out of this security, out of this groundedness of knowing that you have everything that you need not fear. Because Spirit is here, your ancestors are here, that you are sitting really pretty, even though you don't feel it. Even though perhaps you feel like you are tied and bound by these thoughts that won't let you go. Like this. Okay? Even though you can't see a darn thing. Even though you feel old as hell maybe. Or like your body is falling apart. Or like what can you possibly offer? You have everything that it takes in order to create something that is going to really help you elevate your cause as well as everybody else's. I feel like these are kind of devoid. This is like celestial guidance and help, and this is you getting into the juice of life once again, finding your passion, finding everything that just gets you excited once again. It makes you feel that optimism, makes you feel like the sun is on your face once again, and I can feel that warmth, okay? So this is going to go well. You need to go with your gut instinct, but that does not mean listening to fear. That is not your gut. That is what's been fed, okay? What else do we need to know about this? Pile number 1. Look, 3 of Water, celebration. And the King of Wands is you regaining your power, feeling more stable, whatever this looks like to you. Whether you feel like I regain my own self. It's not that I gain monetarily or in any other form. It's just that I gain peace. I gain the ability to celebrate the small things and be at peace and with union with the elements, okay? And then I gain self-possession, like I am self-contained. I feel at peace. Nobody else is allowed to rock my world because I stand in my truth. And nobody else can take away my truth because it's just a part of me. And a part of me is everyone else. These celestial beings, the help that you are getting, the downloads that you're getting. You could get a lot of messages also through nighttime, a lot of downloads. The biggest thing I feel like fear needs to go away. And so you're going to have to make a conscious effort to be able to get rid of those triggers. And if watching perhaps the news or whatever it is that you're ingesting that is keeping you in a cycle of fear, it's time to let go of those things and focus on other things that make you feel strong and centered and balanced and at peace. Even breath work is something really powerful to help you, okay? So I know these are really huge topics. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If it does, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe, and much love to you. Namaste. Hi, pile number 2. This message is for you. So we're going to go ahead and get some good vibes and cleanse off the last reading just so we don't have any cross-contamination. Like this is a food or industry or something like that. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. We're going to see what your ancestors have to say to you. Now, pile number 2, you chose the 7 of Wands. Take a look, feast your eyes up close. First of all, I want to point out just the white that he's wearing. I love this outfit. I think about how, again, I get like deep spiritual vibes, deep vibes that just really want to connect with spirit. But with all of the defensive motion here, because this is the 7 of Wands, excuse me, it's talking about maybe even defending your spirituality. And he's wearing black boots, what looks like appears to be black boots. So I'm saying here that perhaps this is an occasion to really stand by what it is that you believe, even if other people are standing against you, questioning and wanting to say, why do you believe in that? We don't believe in that. You know, just because you grew up in a, like for example, I grew up in Puerto Rico, and so we have a different belief system there, and it's not really mainstream anywhere else you go. So we believe a lot, you know, I grew up Catholic, and so it's some Catholicism mixed in with like Santeria, and that just winds up being kind of like what and how we believed. But also we're not going above, we're not above going to like the witch doctor, for example, like a broken arm that I had once and a broken foot twice. But that's another story. So people in my position would get asked and do get asked, why do you believe what you believe in? Well, I have that history. That is my growing up portion of it. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to take everything that we grew up with, but I am feeling some vibes of perhaps there is something that is contrary to what other people believe, their belief system, whatever the case may be. Now, I'm looking at even the portion behind him, and all of this is like blue skies echoing the top right here. There's a lot of white and a lot of blue, a lot of like connectivity to spirit, to your ancestors. I feel like maybe even you might be somebody who gets their own messages, and you kind of like communicate that, and it might be a little bit kind of hazy, fuzzy, or kind of strange to other people. They might not understand exactly what it is that's going on, and they might question you about it or take you to task. So that's the first thing that I'm getting. I also even get like this cap right here, significant. And I feel like that's just like really a deep focus, again, on spirituality and willing to, be on the spiritual team. So your ancestors say that you are definitely on a spiritual team. It doesn't have to make sense, rhyme, and reason for any one person. It's just really important that you know that you're part of a spiritual team, that you are the spiritual team that's on this earthly plane, and that you have another like celestial spiritual team, but also that you have comrades and support throughout this world, like in the 3D. So that's kind of important to know as well. So let's see what else we have. So something about being like defensive and about kind of like doing your own thing. You could be like having your own practice, being a practitioner of, like, let's say homeopathic medicine, of energy work, of Reiki, of even like tarot, using tarot to enhance your practice, whatever that looks like. Okay, and combining those things with prayer. That's kind of sort of like what I do as well. So I don't know if this makes sense to you, but just some ideas for you. Whatever it is that you need to defend against, or that Spirit's saying, you know what, you have your team. Tú eres el equipo y tú tienes tu propio equipo. And that means like you have your own, what do they call it? Equipo, like your own, oh my gosh. Team. Okay, team. And this is why, Priscilla, you don't switch from Spanish to English, vice versa. Anyway, so here we go. Continuing on with your reading, we have the 10 of Cups. Look at this. You guys tell me you're not impressed. If you love these cards, give me a like, okay? Because I can't take credit for it, but I just think they're stunning. I was riveted when I saw them online. I just had to buy them. So the 10 of Cups, this is like emotional edification. This is like emotional connection, happiness. This is where you're going with the flow of life and really enjoying yourself, really listening even to your own self in spite of what other people try to say against you. And this is having your own spiritual team. Even here on earth, it can represent like your family by like genetics, or family of choice as well, or a combination thereof. Okay, I'd like to see this spiritual team, your family, as people that are of the same fabric as you. Okay, so that is one thing. The Page of Cups. Okay, so I just got a bunch of cards. I wasn't planning on getting all those cards out, but here we are. I hope that we don't burn this like ancestral deck on my first day of using them, because it's a possibility, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully not a probability, but just a possibility that I might be reckless and burn my deck. Okay, that sounded weird. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Okay, I'm kind of giddy all of a sudden. So here we go. So this is family of choice. Now, another thing that you might have to contend with right here is this page. This could be an apology headed your way, but I feel like the little impish grin and the little, hey, there's a fish in my cup. This could be an apology, somebody who did you wrong, maybe even somebody on the 3D wanting to return and say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry that I said those things about you, or I didn't believe you, whatever the case may be, but they're a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Now, if this is not that scenario, then I'm just going to say that your ancestors are allowing perhaps like a new birth or something new to be created in your life, okay? It's going to be something that is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit, what do I want to say, a little bit like, look at this, you know? So it could be like a new enterprise that you're birthing that you are trying to defend. And I heard the word destroying. So maybe other people are really trying to tear it down while you're trying to build it up. I don't know what's going on necessarily, but I feel like this might be even somebody who says, hey, I'm sorry that I stood against you in this situation. For other people, this is an actual child. Maybe perhaps this is a child that you are connecting with on the spiritual plane, or it is a child in the 3D that pertains to your story in the 3D right now. Okay, let's see how this plays out. What is it that your ancestors want you to know? The Knight of Cups. So we have a lot of characters here, and then the Lovers. What is going on here? So I'm just going to put these down. Hopefully, let me move my camera once again. Forgive the noise. Okay, here we go. So we have, once again, this age-old lovers. We need to make a choice. You know, that's the standard. We're at crossroads. We need to make a choice. What is going on? But I feel like spiritually, you have all these combatants right here. And you're like, you know what? I'm on higher ground. I don't even know why you're trying to smack me with a wand when I'll just like stomp on it and snap it like a twig, you know? Basically, that is where your position is. But then we have the lovers here. And it's like, perhaps maybe you need to make a choice. And you're going to do so based on your spiritual well-being, your spiritual belief system. And also, perhaps, do they coincide and believe similar to you? So this could be even another choice in a scenario. This is you giving in and going ahead and going with the mainstream. Let's say you watch mainstream media, mainstream religion, whatever the case may be, and you're just kind of following, just like a good little lamb, not pissing anyone off. You abandon and forsake what it is that you fought so hard for, and you just go ahead and just be like, fine, I'm going to go ahead and toe the line. Or you have the other option, which is to go with what it is that you really believe. And obviously, I know which one you're picking, but that's most of you. It is your choice. So I feel like even this girl with the Lover's card, how cute that is, she is aiming towards a future. It's like, you know what, been there, done that. I've had that before. Maybe you have been through mainstream before. Maybe you had tried to toe the line, hold space for people and ideas that weren't even yours. And now you're saying, you know what, I'm well within my power now. I understood what my ancestors were communicating to me. And I finally have achieved a state of like maturity that I'm not second guessing myself anymore. I don't second guess what has been handed down, regardless of what people think, say about me. So you have the Knight of Cups and the Lovers. Okay, so you could have a choice between two equally important things. Now, another scenario for some of you guys is this person, this Knight of Cups, might be offering you a lot of love, okay? I can't say that, okay? Some things I just really cannot say because they're not politically correct, and I don't really concern myself with that, but this one I can't say, sorry. But I'm just going to say that this person is just dressed like to the hilt, to the nines, wanting to kind of romance you, wanting to kind of wow you. Now, this can be in business. This can be even trying, like a partner trying to get you to stay the course and toe the line because, hey, you represent family and they want your family to fall in line with everything that's mainstream. They don't want you to think outside the box, and they might use your charms. Their charms, in order to get you to kind of toe the line, things like that. So I feel in this case here, even with the entry of like my bull, the matador, the bull with the elephant in my selection pile, if you weren't there for that part of it, I saw a bull that was like furious and ready to attack as it kept getting provoked. And I feel like this could be it as well. It's like, you know what, I've tried it your way. Now I'm free to do it my way. I feel like there's a lot of personal freedom, a lot of authenticity. I feel the word signature. So you might be able to be doing things with such a style and such a flair, just like your own flavor, that people are like, what the heck? Like they're taken aback for real, okay? And whatever partner that really contests this or wants you to comply until you die, I heard, okay? They're not going to win that because I feel like you're headed in the right direction, which is future-oriented. You've been there, done that with, serving your apologies. I'm sorry for my belief system, or I'm sorry, I'm just kind of doing my own thing. No, I'm doing my own thing for now and forever because I've been there, done that, experienced it, and it's a bunch of hogwash, okay? Moving on, what else do we have for my pile number 2? What do ancestors want you to know? What are your talents here so you can combat and battle this? Oh, hi. We're going to take that flip. Okay. Look at this. So we have the Holy Grail. This beautiful chalice or this beautiful cup, okay? And what this is saying is my cup overfloweth. It's whatever it is that you are defending, your cause. If you want to stand for Save the Children, if you are on the, whatever, if you're on a conspiracy panel and you're like, I'm going to fight for it and I'm going to prove, then you do it because there's a lot of emotional gratification. There's a lot of people that are communing with you and believing the same thing that you are. So whatever it is that you are standing up for and standing against and defending yourself because you're just not going with the narrative that's being given to you, go with that, okay? So I feel like whatever makes you feel complete emotional gratification, almost like, I don't want to say like you're high or heady, but it definitely has those vibes, okay? So I see another card flipped here, so we're going to take that too. The Five of Pentacles. Yep. So I feel like I did that whole thing where readers go with this like narrative and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really great. And then you get the crappy card. But you know what? This is why. Cracks me up. I always like laugh when they hesitate, but check this out. The Five of Pentacles right here, this indicates you feeling like that separation. Like you don't feel like a part of something, almost like you're a separate part of a club. You are separating. And maybe you felt like you were judged because you were just so different that you didn't fit in with this. And perhaps you are from like a tribe that went to different ceremonies and upheld different religious beliefs or different spiritual practices, and nobody else can understand it. And you really try to do things the way like people are doing around you currently. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But I feel like you got iced out. I feel like you were judged. I feel like you just didn't fit in. You weren't even dressed for the affair correctly. And that's simply because, you know what, this is who you are. You weren't like your most authentic self. Look at these two people. They're totally, totally different. And so right now, this is like, oh, I'm just observing if you're going to, toe the line or if you're doing the right thing. And now I see it's like I can treat you however I want. This person is standing in doubt. It's like you doubted yourself. You were like, I don't know if I'm doing it right. Did I kneel right? Did I straighten up right? Did I whatever right? And now you're within your power. You're like, you know what? There is no doubt. And so I love that you're coming out of this Five of Pentacles energy where you had to go once upon a time where things were not emotionally fulfilling. And I feel like the reason why your ancestors are saying this pile two is so, so important is because you are finally finding you. You are finally being applauded and standing up for who you authentically are. And if you don't see people applauding just yet, it is coming for you. You're not only that going to get applause, but standing ovation, okay? So moving forward, what else do we have? What other tells do we have for my pile number two? And pile number two, you guys know I always say, if you've been with me for a while, it's about your personal power. So check this out, King of Swords. King of Swords, you have learned so much. You have learned what to cut out of your life. And I do feel like for a lot of you guys, girls, whatever the case may be, you could have endured a lot of hardship, a lot of pain. Perhaps some of you guys are divorced or like endured a really bad separation, that kind of a thing. But I'm going to say that you are looking at everything on a graph. And if it's proven to you, according to your standards, you'll go with it. It's like, you prove me wrong. Okay, well, I'll be open-minded. Go ahead and prove me wrong. Let me see. Because it's not about being wrong or right, but it's about being the most authentic. And I feel like you're getting your main source of information from spirit. You could even be in a situation where everybody's freaking out around you right now because of the current state of events. And your spirit guides are like, you know what? It's going to be okay. Just continue doing you. Continue being close to the land, continue being grounded, and cutting off every other BS that doesn't really fit the narrative, okay? People might be just looking at you for answers as well. That's another thing. You might be somebody that is not only head of household, but head of your community in a lot of ways, okay? So things do come full circle, and I love that for you, pile two. Pile two, what else do we have for you? Let's find out. Six of Pentacles. Okay, so we went natural progression from the 5 to the 6. This is about having the ability to have enough to share with other people, to share with those in need, even to share with these little gnome figures that are kind of like stalking. I don't know. I kind of just don't like them, that overall vibe. I know people love gnomes, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. Also, I feel like you could have been getting an inheritance. I do feel like these people right here, almost like standing in line going, soup, can I have soup? I don't know where I'm getting that from. But I also feel like these two people here are in spirit. So you could have had, this could be saying that you have reached a sum of money perhaps, or some kind of abundance or some kind of benefit from maybe a death or two. And I know that's going to be specific to only maybe one person. Or it could be saying that this person was never in your life. These people were never in your life, maybe your parents, and yet you received a small inheritance just out of the blue, that kind of a thing that enables you to share with other people, okay? And I do feel like you'll be kind of cautious in doing this and sharing from a place of I have, and understanding that there are people lacking, people that feel the same way that you felt once upon a time, okay? So that is interesting, but that's a blessing coming towards you, and hopefully like nobody has to lose anyone in order for this to happen, but that's just narrative I see for 1 2 people. Okay, what else do we have for pile number 2? Ancestors, one more message for pile number 2, please. Thank you. Not just straight jumped out. Okay, you might have a message in pile number 1 as well, because it straight jumped out for you, the Queen of Wands. This is how you're going to make your money. This is how you are going to move ahead. This is how you're going to teach a new generation. Don't stick your hand in that fire. I've been there, done that. It never leads to anything good. Don't stick your hand into places where we've been before and it hasn't worked out with the same narrative. Maybe it's dressed differently. Maybe it's portrayed differently. Maybe the announcements look different, okay? So there's a lot to be said about that. But I feel like you teaching a new generation, a younger generation, or a more naive generation can be, I don't know, platforms like this, like YouTube or Instagram or in person or teaching friends, family, whatever the case may be. Okay, I like it. One more. Another message, please. Thank you. Oh gosh. Hey. So we got a jump. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, first this one came out, this one jumped. So we'll take this first. So we have the Knight of Swords. So we have a situation where, yeah, you're in the process of cutting things out, maybe writing propositions and then ripping them up and changing them. Just seeing that it's like you've been trained almost out of what it is your most authentic self, and you're just rewriting the program and making sure that it's legit and that it goes back to what and who you want to represent and who you are. For 1 or 2 of you, I feel like some of you guys are in the restaurant industry or in the service industry, hospitality even possibly, but I feel more like restaurant vibes of cooking and really serving through love, coming together with family, sharing dishes, things like that. A lot of tradition there. But you are going to be rewriting everything in order to connect with your most authentic self. And so crystals might be something special for you. Also incense and like little offerings like flowers and things like that. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So this is a new beginning. It's a complete obliteration. I said it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Obliteration of what previously existed, of old narrative things, of old stories that you've told yourself that this is how it has to be. You're ripping those things up, those contracts up, and changing everything. And you are remembering, again, what it is that, where it is that you came from. So I feel like you're evolving, and in the end, you're doing away. It's almost like waiting to exhale, where she lights a match and throws it, and she has this really big like fire with her ex-husband or boyfriend's things. I think it was husband. Anyways, so this is a Ten of Swords. This is seeing that, you know, everything for the farce that what it was, and people that stood against you, and maybe situations that were not for your own benefit or the benefit of your community, of your loved ones, and definitely not of your spirituality, and you're burning all of that and you're coming ahead as a creature that's totally different. A lot of heart chakra colors here, so you might choose to work with the heart chakra, and that's about healing. Excuse me. Healing and of love and welcoming in love once again. So if you like that, please smash that like button. I'm choking here. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that subscribe. That was it. Hi, pile number 3. If you chose the Ace of Pentacles, this message is for you. But first, I want you to feast your eyes. Feast your eyes. You've been able to recently, or maybe not so recently, to ensnare a coin, to really start a foundation, start building upon something. And so I feel like you're holding things loosely with your hands, allowing this to come to you instead of like forcing things, okay? So I love this card for you. We're going to go ahead and get started in a second. I just got ahead of myself, you know? A little bit overexcited here. I just died choking a moment ago. So pile number 3, this is your message. And out of the gate, so we're talking about this beautiful coin right here. So one thing that I do notice right now is that we have a lot of solar plexus. This is your will, okay? your direction in life. You're like, this is really what I want to do, what I stand for, that kind of a thing. And it's combined with your heart chakra color. So I feel like these two are divinely connected. And the way through, basically your personal power is opening up your heart chakra. It sounds really counterintuitive, but we're going to see where this goes, okay? So here we go. So pile 2, what do your ancestors have to say to you? Oh, hi, jumper. Okay, the Hierophant came out. But when it jumped out, it literally jumped out like this. So I take my cards however it is they're given to me, given to us. And in this case, this is all about commitment. An old way of doing things. The hierarchies. The matriarchs and patriarchs and things like that. Just how we have traditionally done things as a society, maybe. I feel like that is strongly being addressed here. And the fact that it's on reversed, I feel like this is definitely stating that there is a need for a major change. Now, I'm not going to lie, this almost gives me feelings of like, you know, the financial collapse of how we think we know things to be currently. That's been kind of rumored and, you know, coming down the line, things like that. But a new way of doing things. This is a new way. Is that my dog? So I feel like this is a new way of doing things. For example, bartering, living off of your own land, being able to plant your own produce to really sustain or supplement what it is that you have, trading things with people, sharing with people. Novel idea, right? All of these things come into the forefront. So no, I don't think it's a time of like your money's all gone and starvation. But we've all been listening and hearing about the Great Reset. Right. And I just wonder, well, the Great Reset is like great for who? You know, exactly what does that mean? Excuse me. So I feel like there's a lot of like wires being crossed messages, a lot of things that are not being understood, mixed messages I keep getting, especially with the smoke kept crossing upon itself. And I'm getting confirmation right now on my shoulder, okay, my left shoulder. So intuitively, I'm just going to say that you've been stressing probably about money, and your ancestors are saying, you know what, okay, just keep it in perspective. Money is, you know, paper money. It is something that we think about the world going around, but also it is a form of just attaining what it is that you need. And what do you need? We need the basics of food, shelter, the ability to do things and go places and whatnot. And so I feel like this is not for your ancestors to say, really focus on what it is that your abundance is. Not necessarily dollar amount for those of you guys that are like having big like 401ks, or you're in the money market, or you're in the trading on Wall Street, all that stuff. Go to somebody professional. I don't profess to know anything about that. For the rest of you can stay here with me. But what your ancestors are saying, that there's a time right now to really focus on what it is that we can share resources with each other, with one another. How to be clever with what it is that we own, what it is that we need, how we see the world. Because it is changing. I feel like this Hierophant thing is just saying the world is pretty much on its head. Ancestors, please help us a little bit more for prowl number 3. What do we need to know? Show me now. Yep, 7 of Pentacles. This is, I toiled. I did it the way we're told. I went to school. I got my degree. I invested. I even got upside down on my degree financially in order to get it. Why? Because we're told we need this diploma, we need this degree, we need these credentials. Why? So that we get this job. And so on and so forth. And it just feels never ending. I feel like this is a time for you to make an assessment, to really look deep within. And was it everything that you've done thus far, financially, everything that you've been involved in, has it yielded back what you wanted? Did it give you back the resources that you initially put into it. For example, again, those diplomas or those high school, those school degrees or whatever. You put all this money into it. Is it cropping up with new crops? Is it doubling, tripling, quadrupling like you thought it would? I feel like for a lot of you, you worked, you toiled. Even this looks like a graduation cap. Maybe some of you guys went to school and spent all this money. Now you can't even work in your industry because it's not paying. Okay. This has like some royal blue. It feels like he's just shrouded. I think that if you're thinking these things, you're not telling anybody. But look, this person only has 2 coins visible under this big branch. And it feels to me like what you have gleaned from all this investment, energetic input or financial input, has really just led to setback. It's like the only thing that you see is 2 coins and you invested 7, and that's just interesting because the math doesn't seem to add up. Why is the Hierophant reversed? Ancestors, show me. Show me. This could have a lot to do with religion. Again, 10 of Cups. There could be a message for you in pile 2, by the way. 10 of Cups came there as well. So, for pile number 3, I feel like you're looking to see, okay, did I invest enough in this thing called family, in this thing called energy, in this thing called the white picket fence, in this dream, the American dream, if you live here, or even if you don't. I don't know what you guys dream of. When I spent my time juggling back and forth and to and from between, let's say I held on a job and I put myself through school, or 2 kind of equally important ideas that I juggled in order to make way and gain when I needed to gain and to get ahead. Did it really get me what I needed? Did it get me that stability, that start that I really wanted? Did it gain me the cooperation of other people that I thought it would? So perhaps some of you started a business, a bar or a restaurant or anything like that. And this was like your dream, and all of a sudden everything goes like up in the air and things are not what you thought they would be. With all of this green back here, I feel like this is being led back to you, being shown to you that somehow you've missed the part where your heart has to be engaged. And so it's not that you didn't set out with extreme dedication, extreme like, this is what I want to do. For example, a psychologist, or psychiatrist. I really want to do this. I would really want to help people. And society says that in order to be able to help people and earn a living, I have to get these degrees and be a professional. Great. But you put all this money into it. And now you're asking yourself, well, where's all the help? Where's all the people? Where's all the cooperation? Like, am I getting any references from other professionals? Is this really working for me? That kind of a thing. And also, I'm being led to show, where is your creativity? It's not only do I feel like people are not cooperating, look, people are keeping their own money. They're like, yeah, I can't really do that right now. I can't advertise with you or throw in my lot with you or whatever, because things are really a little bit weird. And you put faith in a system that is outgrown, outmoded, and indeed currently dying, okay? And I feel like you're starting to see the signs of that, and panic might be settling in a little bit. I don't doubt that panic is setting in right here. But with the 4 of Pentacles, I feel like it's a situation where you're not sharing this with anyone else. It's like, you know what? I have funds and I work for Intel. I work for the other big companies, and I have all this stock. And now it's like I'm seeing that things are not really financially working out, or I'm not getting what it is that I really wanted. Or things are turning out really different than what I anticipated, and I don't really know where to go with this. I don't know what to do with this. It's not even giving me a return for the time, energy, effort, the blood, sweat, tears. I was once celebrated. I was focused. Why is this not turning out for me? You need cooperation and something to do with the heart chakra. Okay. What? You saw that just straight jump out. So I had to take it. The star, this is really what you want. I feel like for this pile in particular, this could have to do with your career, your education, and your finances, your stability. Your root chakra is being referenced for sure. So was your heart chakra. I would suggest doing meditations for your root chakra. It sounds like woo woo, especially if they have all the PhD degrees and everything else, whatever, masters. But it might be a little bit worth your time to put maybe 10% of your daily effort into getting grounded and achieving a little bit of balance before you could really see what it is your dream is actually. Because if you went to school, for example, for the medical field again, or psychology, psychiatry, whatever, and you want to help people, you want to inspire, you want to be able to direct, look, this is a way, this is a path, this is how you do it. So perhaps it's doing things in a slightly different way than you anticipated, the traditional way. Maybe you went to school to be a partner in a law firm and that isn't working, but now, oh my gosh, I can't even make this up. I just cracked open the cards and I got the Hierophant. Sorry, my throat chakra is totally acting up. But so maybe you're starting to see it's like, you know what, I can't be a partner here or a lawyer for this situation, but maybe I can collaborate, throw in my lot with a cause that I'm fired up about, that is on the top of my mind, that other people are fired up about and on the top of their minds. They're super excited as well. We can collaborate and all of a sudden the wheels start turning, okay? That's what I see for you in particular. And I feel like this is going to lead other people into, I heard like opening, I heard new, a newness, a new way of being, a new way of thinking. So again, psychology or whatever your profession is that you went to school with initially, I think that you're starting to see that you need to do things a little bit different. You're going to start integrating things that are organic around you. Maybe you start working with somebody who's in holistic medicine and you're a psychologist and you're like, you know what, I'm making up words here, psychologize, that's not even a word, but I'm going to go ahead and give therapy treatment to my patient, you know, and your patient can be anybody, friends, family, whatever. They pay you in whatever system they have, whether it's money or other things that you can really sustain your household and your home with, okay? This is really out of the box. This might really frighten other people. It might also be really cutting edge and exciting, okay? So just hear me out. And then you provide that like therapy for people. Well, this is how you do it. I know the way to achieve your dreams, your independence, to be able to disengage from these horrible cycles that have held you back your whole life and keeping a higher perspective. Also, I have a friend, a buddy, whomever that I collaborate with. He is an herbalist or a naturopathic doctor, and they're able to really help take that part of you and really boost up your, serotonin levels or whatever it is that you need to be able to help you in this way. And then in conjunction with that, we have somebody who's in the, medical field that can check your hormone levels or whatever the case may be and see if there's any other minerals and things that you're lacking. Together we form a team. So that was just something that I was thinking about. But together I feel like you're going to raise a community. And the biggest thing is that you're going to get your dream. And in fact, you are the star. I feel like this is cutting edge, that you're going to gain a lot of notoriety if you continue heading this way. Because you're going to be able to show other people that, yes, you can do it. And indeed, yes, you did it. And my heart is broken open, not only for myself, but for you and for everybody. And the meaning to that, the reason why that's so important is because it's not just going to be about money, about what I get in return. Look at this 8 of Wands and the Chariot that are coming out for you. Okay, so I feel like you're going to make your tribe. I have like a lot of tribe vibes, vibes right here. And I also feel like there's a ton of communication and an ability to create movement. Whereas right now you might feel stuck. You don't know where to go with things. I would suggest some like even color therapy to be able to really visualize, get out in nature and commune with whatever is green. It sounds really corny, but it's going to help you really be grounded. And I feel like meditation is going to change your mindset, because on the top of this person's mind is the proverbial coin. And what is that coin? The very coin that we opened up with, right? Right there. So I feel like this is on the top of my mind, your mind, when you first start even going to this reading, and you might think this is a bunch of hogwash or whatever you want to think about it, but give it a chance. Even if you make one small increment of change to your whole game, I mean, what can it hurt? Also, be really real with yourself. This Hierophant right here is the same one that we see with things being upset or turned on its head. Maybe you can't even find the job with the degree that you have, or things are becoming obsolete faster than they can write on a diploma what you graduated for. Okay, so I feel like the thing that this is, you know, reverse is because you're going to be doing things totally different. And the way that this came up in the upright, the Hierophant, this is a new way of doing things, new organic ways, a way that frees you from that dreaded, like, needing to do things in a certain way. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to feel really, like, out of the box. Super uncomfortable is the least favorite word, but here we are using it. It's going to be beyond uncomfortable. You might be shook to your shoes. I mean, honestly, but I feel like if you continue moving forward and doing small increments to ground yourself, oh, that book is going to be good for you to read. It's Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. Okay, so those things are going to be really great tools to see how your brain can even just really affect your whole life, your powers of manifestation, how you view the world, things like that. Again, I just get a lot of green vibes. I feel like you're going to thrive during this. After the initial, oh my goodness, what is going on? Everything is falling apart. Okay, look at that, 4 of Wands. And then you have rebuilding. Yes, a lot of stability, a lot of happiness, a lot of contentment, a lot of not even rethinking how things have been in the past, but being able to move forward with them in such a way that it's unmistakable. All of a sudden you found fire and the passion and the excitement once again, but you most importantly find your own foundation. And I think that you're going to take even a lot more pride in this because you have worked so hard, but now you're going to have to change the game, it seems like, in mid-stride. The interesting part to that is when you look at the Chariot, I feel like this is all about movement headed in the right direction. And that came out with this guy, this 8 of Wands here, movement also. So you're going to get a lot of messages back and forth once it starts rolling, if it's not already. And I feel like this is your positive and negative polarities, even your old mindset, that Hierophant that was upside down, this one, and the new Hierophant, okay? The new way of doing things, a new way of establishing. I'm sorry, I guess I put that one away. Well, you got the picture. The new, here it is. The new Hierophant in the upright. Okay, this is like reconciling the old and the new, and being able to take qualities out of both and being able to merge them together in order to have the best outcome possible. And completely, like, even not reinventing the wheel, but this will get you so far. This is actually the Chariot. So number 5 being a lot of massive changes that we don't even want to deal with. And I feel you, but it is necessary for your highest good. And in return, you, my friend, you may not believe me, but I promise you, with the star right here, you are going to be upheld by your community, by your friends, by your family, even by your foes, I heard, okay? Because you have the answers and the direction and the light to be able to point the way for other people once you start on this transformational journey. And I know that you're looking at me like, what the hell is she talking about? She's probably crazy, maybe a little bit, but I'm also right. So I do hope that, yeah, that makes sense to you. And I want to end it actually with the star right here, because I mean, what more of a beautiful way to end things. Just know that if you start doubting, start getting uncomfortable, this is your way to point a new direction into our new world. Okay, it's not what people are trying to push on TV currently. It's something that you come about organically and maybe out of a need to collaborate with other people, but those people will wind up being your soul tribe. So I hope that that made sense. Please do smash that like button. Let me know what type of content you would like in the future and what parts resonated with you, if any. Much love and much strength to you, and namaste.